Now, there's no doubt about it that by far the two most anticipated Star Wars TV shows currently that we know of in the Star Wars roadmap is The Mandalorian Season 3 and the Ahsoka Tano TV show that's all slated to come out by next year. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that yes, we do have Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni heavily involved in making all of Legends coming back into the Disney canon. A lot of highlights from Dark Empire, the New Jedi Order, the Thrawn trilogy books, all of which are going to be used for the Mandoverse and the Ahsoka Tano series as well. Now, given that a lot of things are happening behind the scenes between Favreau, Filoni, and Lucas, of heading Star Wars into a more positive path and really kind of bring Star Wars back to its roots and back to the vision of George Lucas, there are, of course, a lot of things that happened with the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show. As you all know, a lot of criticism was poured into the series based on what Joby Harold did and Deborah Chow did, of course, with the actual series. Now, of course, Ewan McGregor, since he did act as an executive producer, he's been a lot more talkative lately about his view on the Kenobi series, the backlash, the character of REVA, and a whole lot more related to his character and Hayden's performance on Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader. Now, with that being said, however, what's even all the more interesting has a lot to do with what Ewan McGregor recently had to say about the character of REVA and how he actually apologized for certain aspects of the character and, of course, the direction of the Kenobi TV series, and unveils more actual truth about the Kathleen Kennedy situation. Now, on top of all of this, with many new Star Wars TV shows and projects currently in development, creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are beginning to evolve the franchise by bringing back Legends into the mix for the brand. However, in a recent interview with actor Ewan McGregor, he went on to apologize for the use of REVA in the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series by stating the following to the fans: "It's never our intention to create characters that will spark backlash or negative fan feedback to what we work, but of course it really was so upsetting to us and the crew that we didn't fulfill the fans' needs with REVA in this series that took so long to create. As an executive producer who worked on this show, I just want to apologize of how we executed REVA in this series. Originally, it was always my intention to use Stuart Beatty's version of the character, but that was sadly out of my hands for the episodes that I was involved with. I had kept pressuring Kathy to use Beatty's vision of REVA, and that this was the way that we should go, but we had our differences on that, and so I am sorry if we did not deliver with how REVA was created for the community." When I look at the series, all I can say is that it was a very tough and tiresome process to get this on the road. It went from a movie to a trilogy and then to a series, all of which involved REVA in many different forms that Beatty wanted to do that were completely dismissed by Kathleen Kennedy. I would have never thought I would see the day that fans would criticize a series about Obi-Wan Kenobi, but perhaps we made some mistakes with that. I also want to put it out there that if I did not live up to expectations with the way I acted in the part, that is something that I do apologize for as well. Now, I just want to say something real quick about what Ewan McGregor is pointing out here, is that he has absolutely no reason at all to apologize for his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know about you guys, but I feel that that was maybe just one of the few highlights of the show was Ewan McGregor's acting in the series and how he stayed very consistent with the character of how he actually used the character in episodes 2 and 3, and especially also episode 1, but it really, in essence, matched with his performance in Revenge of the Sith. So, Ewan McGregor was executive producer, in case you guys did not know, but that only brings you so far. You know, it only brings you so far to a point where eventually Kathleen Kennedy is able to have the upper hand and do specific things with the character of REVA. Now, Beatty, I don't know if you guys knew, but Stuart Beatty, the original writer, had a completely different vision of Reva in the Kenobi series. I mean, a drastic difference. Number one, she was supposed to be more villainous, she was supposed to have a legitimate motive, and number two, she was supposed to actually have a more violent fate, dying by the hands of Darth Vader by lying to Vader that she killed Kenobi and that she, of course, was keeping something very secret that Kenobi knew about. And Vader searched her feelings and knew this, and that's when she meets her end. They wanted to create a tragic end for the character that would have been realistic, that would have made Vader all the more menacing, and we got the complete opposite. So now we are in a scenario where Vader is almost coming off as, not as villainous anymore in the Kenobi series end, at least at the very end of episode 5. So moving forward from that, alright, he goes on to say, but you see, Reva was a very complex character to handle. We all had creative differences on how this character needed to be used. I kept trying to push Kathy to do what needed to be done with Reva by using Stewart's vision, which I seriously loved and thought it was the best way to go. But this is business and it doesn't always work out, which is the sad truth. I have nothing against Moses. I thought she did a lovely job and she was so easy to work with. All I can say is that I tried my best with the series and trying to convince people like Kathy to experiment with Stewart's vision on Reva, which I didn't end up making it to the final script of the show, sadly. Which was heartbreaking because I read over what Beatty was going to do with Reva, and I will admit, it was a very unique direction that could have put her up as one of the most scariest villains in the Star Wars world. Now, in case you guys have been unaware about this as well, Deborah Chow and Joby Harold, they too got into creative differences with Ewan McGregor. Again, Ewan wanted this different vision for Reva. He wanted to really give Reva this actual treatment that Stuart Beatty was going to do for the movie and the trilogy. And it's just sad to see that it got so washed and watered down to the point where Reva, to me, I don't know about you, felt very one-dimensional and it really just did not fit the storyline. And at the end of the day, that's when characters get phased out. I mean, we already have forgotten about many characters before in the past, that were very similar and one-dimensional. So, moving from all of this, alright, he goes on to conclude by saying the following: I am currently in the talks with many other creators about my role, and I really can't get into it too much, but I will say that fans will be pretty thrilled with what we are about to announce in the coming months. Now, he's obviously alluding to Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 2 that we've been talking about, which, by the way, is in the early development phase. They are going to be doing some amazing things with that. They're going to be pretty much treating it as a continuation, but at the same exact time, pretty much restarting it, giving it a brand new tone, giving it a brand new feel. You can almost call it a hard reset, if you will. So, or a soft reset, I should say. Now, the thing about this, too, is that Ewan McGregor, I don't know if he really should be apologizing for Reva's treatment because it really wasn't all up to him. Again, this is all in Kathy's hands. This was all in Joby's hands because he wrote the show. So there wasn't all that much that Ewan could do. So I really don't know why he's apologizing. I guess because he feels responsible because an executive producer does have some creative pull. So overall, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.